And setting boundaries also is
Yeah.
another way of saving time. Determine where you're going to put your energy and your time. Can make all the difference in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes a huge difference.
So many times when it comes to stress, I feel like where people start to struggle is that they have good intentions. And then as more gets kind of put onto their plate, they start moving more into chaos. And then they're just kind of like, everything is just chaotic, or they're just kind of doing one thing without the other. And so sometimes it's so important to help people kind of say, hey, let's help you take a step back and start reevaluating. So let's help you start writing things out and resetting your goals. Because so many times people move into that chaotic state and nothing is getting accomplished. They're not getting the goals they want. They're not sleeping enough. They're not prepping enough. They're not monitoring their energy levels enough. And they're just like functioning on this like survival mode. And so many times it's about, like you just talked about, de-stressing by starting to just bring awareness to what you're experiencing so that you can then start to bring organization to your life and live that life that you want. So you can kind of monitor your patterns of behavior, monitor like seasonal patterns, your menstrual patterns, all these different patterns of life that affect your ability to function from time.
Right. Right. And the one thing I notice time and time again that really sabotages our ability to reach our goals is taking on too many things. And I think you were alluding to that, Dr. Nicole. I mean, when we're trying to reach a goal, trying to reach 4 or 5 goals at one time, right? As opposed to starting with 1 or 2 and taking baby steps and just building so it's not a shock to your nervous system and to your mind and body that you're trying to completely change your whole life. It's too much to ask. We ask too much of ourselves time and time again. And so that is I think of one of the most important things that someone can do when they're trying to make a shift is, again, that awareness of what is most important, what is intrinsically motivating to them, and then breaking it down into something that's actually manageable and sustainable and that they can stick to.
I think that especially this time of year, that can really be a huge thing as we're moving into the holiday season. You're trying to prep your home for visitors to be coming. You're trying to get food prepared. You're trying to be able to balance the income that's kind of coming in regarding all these increased expenses that are getting ready to come out. You're trying to make sure your kiddos are having a good experience. And so it's really hard, especially this time of year, to really start to balance all those pieces and kind of keep yourself like level as you're kind of moving to this holiday season.
I think there comes a point where we have to understand that it's okay for us to allow ourselves to let certain things go. Because I think a lot of times people they'll have a goal and they get really excited for this goal, but as they start working towards it, they realize this isn't working out the way I want. But because they already set the goal, they're like, but I have to achieve it. It has to look like this. You're allowed to let that go. You're allowed to let go of what you originally thought. And if you need to drop that goal or just completely scratch it, that's also okay. And one thing that I love to tell people, and coming from a goal coach, they always seem surprised, but I'm like, if you're too busy, stop working on it for a little while. Do the other things that you need to do so that you can function, so that you're not constantly stressing yourself out, trying to do all of that. Like you said, trying to host family, trying to plan for holidays, trying to do all the things, and then still finding time to focus on a goal. To me, at that point, it's more important to use that time for mindfulness, use that time for self care because you're already stressed. Build in time for self-care, and when you're ready, then you can come back to the goal. The goal will always be there. But take the time for yourself. Give yourself that quiet time, that space to understand what you're feeling and what's going to help you get to where you need to be. And then that's when you take action. Or not. Sometimes you just need to sit and stare at the wall for a little while because I've done that. I've had those days.